Bullhorn, Betty. Thank you for my shirt. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Kids Club.
Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flies, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause of sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
I'm not going to go through the entire intro because we've got kind of this stuff has been breaking a little bit since, well, we're just starting to get rounds of it now about a missing girl that it may appear that she's abducted. I'm getting all the information in, and since I've got to read it, I figured we're going to pull it up here and we're all going to read it together and find out what is going on. This is happening in it is Moreau Lake State Park, if I'm saying the name correctly. You know, these weird names, they get me a little tongue-tied, folks. So please bear with me. But we do have a young lady. If you saw the thumbnail, let me go ahead and pull that up so you guys can see her. I'm just going to pull up a photo of her, actually. Yeah, let me go over here real quick. I just want to get everybody a photo of her real quick. I think that's more important, and then we'll start looking into her case. There we go. Okay. 9 years old, guys. She's 9 years old. Okay. Cute as a button. Apparently she's out there with her friends. I'm going to just go ahead and read some stuff. I'm just going to move this over here. So you're going to see it moving a little bit while I read to you guys. Yes, it's in upstate New York. So I just want to get this information out to you guys. If you see her anywhere, we don't have any photo of the abductor yet. The child is Charlotte Sena. She's a white female, approximately 9 years old, 9 years, 1 month old, long blonde hair. She's approximately 5 feet, 1 inch tall. She weighs about 90 pounds. Charlotte was last seen wearing an orange tie-dye Pokemon t-shirt, dark blue pants, black Crocs, and gray bike helmet. The child was taken under circumstances that lead police to believe that they are in they put in here they are, but I think they meant she is, that she is in immediate danger of serious harm or death. Serious harm or death. So if anybody has any information to her whereabouts, let me go ahead and put this up. Give me just a second while I got to move her again. I apologize, folks. I'm trying to get these things out to you guys as quickly as possible, but you know, this isn't prepared. You guys know I don't really come live on Sundays, but this one was a little bit more of a concern for me, so I thought we needed to. Or you can always call 911 as well. So there's the number. If you guys see this young girl anywhere, she's 9 years old. Again, let me give you that description. If somebody wants to put the description down into the chat, I'd greatly appreciate it. 5 feet 1 inches tall. She's 90 pounds. Her name is Charlotte. She was in a like wearing an orange tie-dye Pokemon shirt, dark blue pants, black Crocs, and a gray bike helmet. So she had a bike helmet on at the time of this, what I believe may have been abduction. I've got the Amber Alert. Where is the Amber Alert? I did have the Amber Alert pulled up, but I don't know where it's at. So here's some of the news articles we have on it. It says state police on Sunday morning issued an Amber Alert for 9-year-old Charlotte Sena. With this Amber Alert, with the Amber Alert saying she was abducted around 6:45 Saturday. So last night, she was abducted on a camping trip at Moreau Lake State Park with family. The alert, which came in almost 16 hours after she was reported missing. I don't understand. 16 hours. Guys, when young kids are abducted, we all can agree. It's pronounced Moreau. Moreau. Okay. Thank you, Emmy. I appreciate that. So Moreau. So she was at this Moreau State Park. And again, 16 hours, everything, it was a crime of opportunity, but still, when seconds matter, do you guys realize that when a child is abducted, they're likely killed within the first 3 hours of their abduction? If it's from a stranger danger, they're usually killed within 3 hours. 16 hours to me is entirely too long. A call came in at 6:45. If there was enough information, an Amber Alert, this is where I have problems, guys. I'm, I don't know what the situation is. There may be more to the story than I understand. So, let's just keep reading and find out. Again, I'm just learning all this information right along with you. So I'm just reading what you guys are hearing is the same information I'm hearing. I don't have a crystal ball. I know no information more. And again, the only reason why I'm coming live is I want to plaster this young girl's face all over social media. Anybody that's on here, please be running this young girl. This is an active Amber Alert. It happened. Again, we just found out about it a few hours ago because it wasn't released until just a few hours ago. She's 9 years old. She's in immediate danger. And quite frankly, I can't with the 16 hours. I can't. The child was taken under circumstances that lead police to believe that they are in imminent danger, harm, or death. And we've got a few photos here. Let me see if there's anything clearer. They've got an unclear photo, quite frankly. Nothing very clear on her. I think that the photo I've got up is probably, so we're getting some information here. And if you guys have information on this case or you are in the state where this is happening, please, it's in Moreau Lake State Park. And that would be in upstate New York. So, I do think, obviously something happened. She was wearing a helmet. So that kind of leads me to believe that that she was riding her bike potentially. So I wonder if they found a bike. But let me look at the Amber Alert. I've had the Amber Alert up, and I'm not sure why it's not Charlotte Sena. I don't know why, what the heck happened, but I did have the, here it is. Oh, it's in what, probably another one of the ones here. It's probably the next one. There it is. Okay. So it says here, Charlotte was last seen on Loop A in the Moreau Lake State Park in the town of Moreau, Saratoga County at approximately 6:15 on Saturday, which was September 30th. Charlotte was last seen where, and it just goes on to say that. And let's see if this article has any additional information. It says dozens of first responders have been searching for the 9-year-old girl who went missing while camping with her family at Moreau. Moreau. You might have to give me the pronunciation again. Moreau. Okay. Sorry, guys. Moreau State Lake Saturday night. Officials are searching for Charlotte E. Sena, who was last seen around 6:15 Saturday. Police said she was last seen wearing an orange tie-dye Pokemon. And I'm going to repeat that a lot, guys, and I apologize if it sounds redundant, but it's going to say the same thing from different articles. The only reason why I'm reading different articles is I wanted to see if we can find any snippet or any additional information that maybe one article may not have or have disclosed. So that's why we're reading a lot of the same stuff over and over again. So she was 5'1", 90 pounds, long blonde hair is what they're stating here. New York State Police issued an Amber Alert around 9:45 this morning. I'm sorry, guys. We haven't gotten any new updates. Okay, I appreciate that. The state police issued an Amber Alert around 9:45, and again, I this morning. So, like I said, I was just learning of this while we were all in church. I saw it pop up, and I was, but when I'm in church, I'm in church. Unfortunately, that's just how it is. So I didn't really read it, but I saw it pop up, and as soon as I was done, I started pulling all this information as much as I could find. But she was in Loop A. So whoever is out in Moreau Lake State Park or has camped out there, I'd like to hear from you. Maybe we can pull this park up on the map and maybe get a bird's eye view of this area where this young girl has been abducted from. So, but she was at Site 18, or Site 18. Let's see if we can find this. So Moreau State Park, we have Loop A, Site 18. Okay. We got some views from the site. We have some site views here. Give me just a second. I'm probably going to have to pull her picture down just a little bit, guys, just to be able to show this. And then we will we'll get our photo back up when we're not using this. So here we go. We got some site photos and private notes on here. Sorry. There we go. So I need to just get this a little bit bigger for each of you guys. There we go. So that was the campsite that they were at right there. So we get the idea of the area that's out here. When we go out to these camping areas, there are some that are similar, right? But some have more woods. Some are more desolate in their proximity to, other people. It really does depend. It really does depend. Hold on just a second. Sorry about that. Somebody was calling. Let me get my train of thought back. Sorry about this, folks. So this was a little bit more wooded, and this was later in the afternoon. So I would still say it was pretty light outside at the time. I'm not sure. Somebody from New York would probably be able to discuss or know what time it gets dark. So if it gets dark here, like around 7:38, you're probably it probably look right about like the photo you're seeing right now about the how light it was outside while she was by there. Oh yes, absolutely. Thank you, Eileen. Thank you. God bless you. God bless you. So let's get back. I'm going to go ahead and pull her up because I want her face plastered on here more so than this photo here. I think it'll be better as we talk about this case. She, again, is 9 years old. This is a grave situation. And they're saying that they think that, her life is in danger right now. Again, her life is in danger. And I can't understand for the life of me why in the world it took them 16 hours to get this Amber Alert out. I just, for the life of me, can't understand that. I'm sorry. I just hope it doesn't hurt her, or finding her. I really do. Let's get back to which one were we reading? Oh, here's the one we were reading. So, excuse me. So they finally got the Amber Alert out to us this morning around 9:45 and said the girl disappeared and is now being investigated as a possible child abduction near Moreau Lake State Park. Again, Site A, Loop A, Site 18, in Gainesvort, that occurred around 6:45 Saturday. Police said Charlotte was entered as a missing child through the Department of Criminal Justice. The extensive search for her has continued overnight and into the daytime hours. Out of an abundance of caution and due to the length of time that has elapsed, an Amber Alert was issued. So they're almost downplaying it in this article, and I don't like that. I mean, this is a 9-year-old girl, and she's been missing for 16 hours. But it just seems in this particular article, and this is coming out of the Saratogan, which probably it sounds like a local paper in that area. And there, to me, it just sounds, because it says right here, the extensive search for her has continued overnight and into the daytime hours out of an abundance of caution. Due to the length of time that has lapsed, an Amber Alert was issued. So I guess they still feel it. Like it might be possible that she's just lost. It was very wooded, so I'm sure a young girl could get easily lost and turned around in those woods. I'm an adult, and when we were looking for Paola Miranda Rosa, I got to say that there was 5 minutes that we were kind of lost out there in that swamp. In that 5 minutes, I don't think it was 5 minutes. I think it was more like 2 or 3. It could have went up to 5 minutes, but it just seemed like eternity. Just your heart is pumping because you're looking around and everything looks the same. So I don't know. Anyone with any information is asked to call, obviously, that 518 number. Let me make sure that the number in this article is still the same one that we have. Yes, 518-457-6811. You can also email any tips you have to crime tip at trooperswithans.ny.gov. So if you would like to send an email, if you have any information, if anybody's in this area of Moreau Lake State Park, if you have any Ring doorbell cameras, start pulling that footage and getting that downloaded so you can get that off to law enforcement. We don't know if your footage has anything that they may need, but it just in an abundance of caution. This is a 9-year-old girl. Let's not have them, reach out to you. Let's go ahead and get that stuff out to them. If you're in the area and have that information, go ahead and just email it to again, that's crime, CRIME, tip, TIP, at troopers, TROOPERS.ny.gov. Betty says they believe she was taken under circumstances that, yes, I know. That's why I said it's really weird that this article from the Saratogan, which is in the, because you heard me just read that out of the one article. The one article from poststar.com is the one that, put the quotations of law enforcement saying that they believe that she's in imminent danger of serious harm or death. But then when you go over to the Saratogan, however, it almost seems like they're downplaying it and saying that it's just out of an abundance of caution. So I get what you're saying, but I'm just reading what is in the paper. That's all I'm doing here. What else do we have here? We have another article here from timesunion.com. And they have some more updated or so, these. Oh, she's just cute as a button, guys. She really is. I feel just my heart is bleeding. I hope nothing serious happened, but you just never know. You just never know. People are so sick and twisted in our world anymore. Sometimes I wonder, is evil really succeeding in our world? And some days I come in here and I wonder. I have to be honest with you. I wonder if evil just reigns over this world now. It just seems like every year we get more twisted, more just messed up. I I don't get it. I really don't. Look at her. 9 years old, 5'1", 90 pounds. She has long blonde hair. So this is not an updated photo, but what I like about this photo is I think it gives you a lot of great facial features. I think we can get a lot out of this photo. Eye distance, just take the hair away. Maybe I can blow it up where the hair is kind of out. That's about as far as I'm going to be able to get it, but maybe I wish I could do something else with it, but I can't. So just imagine her hair is blonde, but look at the facial feature. Look at the teeth. Look at the nose. Look at the eyes. Look at the distance between the eyes. Look at the color. Look how she smiles, her chin. I think these things are important. So she has such a cute little face. And then they don't have really nothing else. I think that was the only one. And the other ones of her are really blurry. They're not good photos of this young girl. And it makes it very difficult because you can't see it. But what you can get off this photo, right? What we can get off this photo is the color of her hair. So the other one had more of the facial features that we can look at: the eyes, the distance of the eyes, the nose, the mouth, the smile, the chin, a lot of great identifying features, facial features. This one, even though it's blurry and you really can't identify the facial features, we can get at least an idea of the hair color. Long hair. It might be this length or a little bit longer. So this is a little bit of for the hair. So hi, Hash Brown. Nice to see you. We have a missing 9-year-old from Moreau Lake State Park in New York. We're going to pull up the map in just a second. All I'm doing right now is reading the litany of articles that are on the web right now with information, because this is breaking. We just started learning about this. They just started releasing this Amber Alert at 9:45 this morning. And as you can see, 3 more hours is almost elapsed since they broke this Amber Alert. And she was missing 16 hours prior to them initiating that Amber Alert. And I think that was probably because they may have thought she was lost. Out there, it's a wilderness type of thing. Actually, to be honest with you, this might be the updated picture. This might be the orange tie-dye shirt, as a matter of fact, because that looks like the area we just looked at on that camping site. Look behind her. That, I think this is, and there's a Pokemon. There's the orange. That must have been that must have been the there at the campsite. This is the recent photo. This must be exactly what she looks like when she disappeared. That shirt and everything. So we'll say, I don't know that for a fact. Okay, so this might be an older photo, but just now that we're putting pieces together, this looks like the campsite that I just saw in the brochure. And she's standing there with an orange Pokemon tie-dye shirt on. And she's got long blonde hair. In the other photos we had brown hair. So I have to think that this was the most recent photo of hers. They must have took a photo of her that day, earlier in that day, because it's a camping trip and families like taking photos and making memories on these types of trips. So there you have it. Again, not the best. It doesn't really identify her facial features, but at least we get an idea about her hair length and her hair color. And then here is what her facial features look like. That's her smile, her teeth, her ears, her eyes. Very crystal clear photo of her face. So we're going to have to take the photo of her face and kind of couple it with, this is the hairstyle she currently has. Okay. Wow. So there she is. It says, State Police Sunday morning issued an Amber Alert for Charlotte Sena. The Amber Alert saying that she was abducted around 6:45 p.m. while on a camping trip in Moreau Lake State Park with family. The alert, which comes almost 16 hours after she was reported, I think this might have been one I already read, to be honest with you, but I wanted to look at her face. Reported missing, saying at the bottom, the child was taken under circumstances that lead police to believe of imminent danger and or death. Yeah, that is the very first one I read. So let me get her face back up here. And I like this photo of her because this photo that I have of her here, which was in that article, I think has an idea. It gives you a good idea of her hair length, hair color, and great facial features as well. This might have been taken on this trip. This might have been taken another time. She looks like she had just gotten out of the water or whatnot. So yeah, the woods do kind of look thick, and I'm sure the area around there is thick. We'll pull it up on the map in just a second. And we've already read the one from the Saratogan, and this one is from the Syracuse.com. This has a full-length picture of what she must have been wearing that day. I wish it'd let me I wish this would let me share 2 screens. I just wish it would. Why won't it let me? Oh, I keep having to bounce back and forth. That is okay, though. That is okay. Yeah, here. So this must be exactly what she was wearing that day, because this is the dark pants and everything. There it is. So I see that. Those are the pants. So that's what she was wearing that day. And there's the camper right behind them that they were probably all sleeping in. So it looks like they were just having a normal family fun. I mean, that poor girl, not doing anything wrong, and then probably just plucked. But you know what? Let's still have some hope that, you know, nothing nefarious happened and she just got lost in the woods. And this truly is an abundance of caution. And maybe without them saying that they feel that she's in immediate danger and or death, they wouldn't have been able to get the Amber Alert even issued. Maybe that might have been the reason why they had to do that. We don't know. We just assume. For guys, the number on the screen that you're seeing is not a call-in number to the show. This is for any information. Let me update that just in case, because in case somebody's walking in and thinks this is the call-in show. Hold on one second. If you have, okay, so LE. Okay. Probably should have done that. I forget people, you know, unless you spell it. Some people, anything, you know, somebody probably like, I gotta call Betty. I want to talk about this case and pick up the phone and get the tip line. That's the tip line for any information. So please call LE at 518-457-6811 if you have any information about this young girl. Again, she's 9 years old. She's 5'1", 90 pounds. She went missing from Moreau Lake State Park, and I'm hearing that's in upstate New York. It's in upstate New York. I knew it's in New York, but they're saying that it's in upstate New York. If there's any information. So here's some information just about the state park. Moreau State Park lies amid hardwood forest, pine stands, and rocky ridges, sandy groves of trees, shelter picnic grounds, and pavilions overlooking the lake. Wooded campsites are quiet and secluded, offering facilities for group campers as well as tent and trailer sites. And here is kind of the map. So here's like the map of the park right here. And you can see it's a huge, huge lake. And they don't have these like marked off as loop A, loop, you know, B, loop C. But I think we can kind of, you know, get a gist at least of the layout of this particular park and where the campsites are. Why is it going the wrong way? I'm trying to reduce it and it keeps wanting to go. I don't know what I'm doing, guys. Don't mind me. I don't know what I'm doing. Let me try this again. It's not going down. can't shrink it. I can't shrink it. Okay, well, let's start it over again. So I guess I'm okay. Let's go back. Leave it to me not to know how to work a computer, right? And it won't let me get it back to smaller. It just, there we go. Okay, there, we got it. That was a little bit difficult. So you get an idea of how the park's laid out. So it looks like camping is really only on one side of the lake, and everything else around the lake is all natural preserve. And when I looked at the actual map of this is, this really is in, like just green. It really is. Like, you can keep going. So let me go ahead and just put this on the site, and we'll go back in. But everything is just in this area. Everything is just kind of foresty, and I don't know if it's mountainous. Somebody from the area is going to have to tell me, because honestly, I have been to New York just a handful of times. I just happened to get back to the comments, and I was going to read something, and that was the first thing I saw. You're killing me, Mike. You're killing me. Oh, Lord. Thank you, Fearless. Thank you. So you see the kind of area this is. It is. You know what? Let me pull up. I'm going to pull up Google Earth. Let's see what this whole area looks like. Might as well. I don't see any point. Why not? I don't know what it is about these earbuds, but I tell you what, when I have these earbuds in my ear, they make my ears, the inside of my ear canals itch. I know somebody's going to clip that. Emmy, I know you're in here and you're going to make fun of me for that. I really don't care. I don't care. I don't think you should be making fun of me because my ears itch. Oh, they did a redesign. Interesting. I don't know if you guys noticed. They did a redesign in Google Earth. Interesting. Huh. Wow. That is a lot of trees. Can you guys see that on your screen? Holy crap. All right, I'm going to try to push this back just a little bit. Give me just a second. Okay. Let me see if we can kind of shrink this up and see if we can get to the campsites. Wow. That's a lot of green. So those must be the campsites. All right, so park office is right here. So there's the campsites. You guys see those? Let me go back in. There's. Okay, so there's the lake there. They got a lake over here. It looks like a small little lake over here. And then it looks like they got the camp stuff right here. So this must be the side that they have the camp. So these must be houses or something else over here, or some kind of other activities or campsites. But let's look at the map again. I don't know. This is, but it as you guys can see, there's not a whole lot out here and around here. It looks like they might have a golf course somewhere near there. But it looks like it's pretty far away from any like residential housing. Let me see what's in the chat here. I have been reading this. Give me just a second, guys. I'm going to try to catch up on chat. Did she just go for a bike ride on her own? Honestly, you guys got as much information as I do, Sean. I have no earthly idea. That's why I decided to come live, is because there's, even after 16 hours, we're not provided a whole lot of information. And quite frankly, from one story to the next, it's conflicting, because we've got statements being made from law enforcement saying that this child is in immediate danger of death, bodily harm or death. And then on the other hand, you're hearing other articles saying in an abundance of caution, they decided to issue the Amber Alert due to how long she's hasn't been found for. She's been missing for. So to be honest with you, those are my questions too. So hopefully, again, there's a good possibility here that she's just lost. There's a lot of greenery here, but there's also a lot of sick people that are living in these areas because they can't afford to live anywhere else. We got van lifers, and I don't want to paint with a broad brush. I'm not saying that van lifers are sick, twisted people. I'm just saying there are some sick, twisted people living in these areas. Remember, we can't forget Kylan Schulte or Crystal Turner. Remember, they were camping when they were, never seen again and found in drainage ditch, and it was just awesome, or whatever it was called. It was like an irrigation trough. Let's see what we got. That's Amber Alert system. I know, but that's slow. I mean, let's think about it. For example, if we know that a child is, if a child is abducted by a stranger, and statistics and everything tell us that that child is usually killed by that stranger within 72 hours, within 3 hours. 3 hours of that abduction. A 16-hour Amber Alert is just too slow. This is not good enough. This is not good enough. I hope she's just lost. I hope she's just lost. Anyone can get lost in the woods unless you leave a trail. Yeah, but you know what? Sometimes especially with children, it's 9-year-olds. I mean, think about how, clueless they are, right? Children can be distracted very easily, where they see a bunny, for example. Let's just use a cute little, every kid likes seeing a cute little fuzzy animal out in the wild, right? And say this bunny is hopping along. And this child is curious. They're following this bunny right along on their travels. They're not paying attention where this bunny is going. They're not paying attention what direction this bunny is going because their eyes are squarely on that bunny. And then that bunny hops away really quickly and gets gone real quick. And now the child's looking around and looking up, and it all looks the same. Where did they just come from? So it is possible. I believe that children, even if they get off the trail and stuff, I think it's very possible that she could definitely be out there and just got, distracted. But I also believe that with today's technology, that people should typically be found in this type of terrain. And I will say it, no less than 36 hours, or no more than 36 hours. Like in 36 hours, if she's in those woods, they should find her. And by the time they had the Amber Alert, 16 of those hours have already gone. So I don't know. I'd like to understand more of the circumstances that surrounded her disappearance. Not to punish the parents or anything like that, because I know no matter what happens, like if your child's missing, you're going to naturally blame yourself. So I think that's just common. No matter whether you have anything to do, parents just blame themselves because it's on their dime. It was on their watch. It's very hard to watch a parent deal with something like a child being abducted and the grief that they consume and put on their own shoulders when it's not their fault. But with her, I want to know, again, not to be disrespectful to either of the parents, but just for clarification, just understanding what transpired that led us to this point. Did they take their eyes off of her? Was she, out there in the dust, you don't think of harm. You don't your guard's going to be down. So it, again, I'm not trying to put blame on anybody or anything. I'm just curious who was in and around her at the time she disappeared, and how do they not know whether she was abducted or not? So it sounds like maybe she was riding her bike around, or something. Maybe they found the bike, but not her. That to me would scream almost abduction, because if you, but again, there's nothing in here saying bike. That's the crazy part in all of this, is we're talking about her having a gray helmet on. Why was she wearing the gray helmet? Was she riding a bike? And if she was riding a bike, where is the bicycle? Is the bicycle also missing? Could this be a situation where there are some areas that drop off and she wasn't paying attention and could have hurt herself falling off into a ravine or something of that nature? Where is the bicycle? I haven't read any article that says anything about a bicycle, but we're hearing that when she went missing with a gray bike helmet on. I was in church, just couldn't talk in chat because of my name. Lessons learned. Aw, I'm sorry. Well, everybody, this day and age, there's just evil people out there where we need to protect ourselves from. People, yeah, I mean, seriously. So protect your privacy. I was very foolish when I came out here. People always tease me like, why, you're doxing yourself. At this point, I mean, they literally posted a picture of my home with a map of how to get to my home. So, I mean, and it was plastered all over social media. So, the reason why I don't bother with covering up my address is because some animal decided to put my life at risk. There's nothing I can do about it now. Once the bell's rung, you can't unring it. So it is what it is. So if you have to worry about your name and stuff like that, make sure that you change your name and protect your identity, because people out here, they will try to hurt you if they can. I'm 2 hours north of there. Well, Rhiannon, do you guys have any additional information that's going on? Or what's going on in the chat groups in Facebook in your area about this case? Are people talking about it? Are any leads being provided by people? Because I find a lot of people don't mind helping cases. But they do it in chat rooms, you know what I'm saying? Like they'll throw their leads in a chat room instead of just sending it over to law enforcement. So I don't get it. I get it, but I don't get it. People don't want to really get involved, but they want to get the information out there. So hey, you know what? I'm sure law enforcement will take it any way that they can take it. But sometimes I find that those chat rooms have more accurate information and intel than some of these news media outlets. So if you know anything, you know what we say over here on the Bullhorn Betty Show. If you see something, say something. We could use some intel on this 9-year-old girl. I find it strange that she just disappeared. I agree with you, Mike. I definitely agree that there's something that's just a strange and a whole bunch of change. You know what I'm saying? But I still want to know, like, I hate these half information, but we can see that. But the good news is we can at least identify that this area is heavily wooded. It's very dense. It's very desolate. This would be a prime place to pluck an unattended child, right? And again, it kind of brings me back to Paola Miranda Rosa. This was kind of the same area where she disappeared from. And they tried to blame it on a gator attack. And I'm sorry, there was no evidence anywhere in that park. No evidence, nothing, no disturbance on the land. You didn't find anything snagged out or ripped or anything in the water. The water was tested for DNA just to see if her blood or, her biological material was even in the water. They couldn't find anything. So it's like Paola Miranda Rosa just literally disappeared off the face of the earth in a reserve. A camping area similar to this in Florida. So it was like probably a lot more flat. And I truly believe, because of the evidence at the car, that she made it back to the car and somebody abducted her. I truly believe that there is a possibility for that in the Paola Miranda Rosa case, but nobody will listen to the family. And they just posted big old huge, beware of gator signs all throughout the park. So, not to, to be careful of gators. But in all fairness, I truly believe that there was something more that happened to her. And, on the heels of Sound of Freedom, we know that these people exist in our world, where they sit and wait for the perfect opportunity to snatch a child, to do horrible, sick, twisted things to our children, preying on our kids. We know that this stuff exists out there in the world. And when we hear a 9-year-old girl that disappears from a state park, and we know that these things, that state parks are not safe, our minds just go straight to horrible. But this one, there is a possibility. So far, I haven't read anything in any of these articles yet that have huge red flags just yet. So that gives me a sense of hope that she is okay. I wonder if they have trail or fire cams. Very, very good. Most likely in Colorado, yes, I believe that there would be some fire cams out there, especially in this area. Let's find out. Alert wildfire. Let's see what this says. We got Colorado webcams, Midland fire monitoring cams. And I got wildfire alerts. Okay, let's see what we got. This would be Colorado. Looks like we only have one kind of looking toward Grand Junction. At least on the alert wildfire, it looks like they only have one camera on this site, and it is like looking toward Grand Junction. Oh wow, you can even see where the camera is on this one. You can almost see, you can see that you can't see it on this. Hold on, let me see if I can blow this up. Oops. Oh, I don't want to blow that up. I want to blow the whole darn thing up. But anyways, let me pull this up, move it over. It has Moab right here. Moab is where Gabby Petito, there we go, and Kylan Schulte and Crystal Turner were found, as in Moab. So if I pull this down just a little bit, hold on. It's not going to let me do it, is it? You'll see that that's the only fire camera on this particular one, which is alertwildfire.com. But there's a few other ones. Let me just see what's on these cameras here. We have 2 Lake Park, Midland, Grand Lake, Mount Baldy, Grand Lake web camera, Western Riviera, Lakeside, Lake Granby web camera, Granby. If you guys know where these are, I don't think these are in, but they're not, doesn't look like they're in Colorado where we need them. So no, it doesn't look like there's any cameras, not anything I can find on a cursory review. It doesn't appear that there's any fire cameras that are directly looking to the place of this campground. Let me see what else we've got on here. So it looks like a lot of fun. I mean, it looks like people, they like the lake is a pretty big lake. It looks like people are typically there. You know, we don't know what the stuff is this time of year, you know, how populated it is. But Moreau Lake State Park lies amid hardwood forest, pine stands, rocky ridges, sandy groves of trees, shelter picnic grounds, and a pavilion overlooking the lake. Wooded campgrounds are quiet and secluded, offering facilities for group campers as well as tent and trailer sites. 2 pavilions, each with 100 and 120 person capacity, and a 20 by 30 tent, which can accommodate up to 50 people, may be reserved on a daily basis. The sandy beach, nature, hiking, cross-country, ski trails, opportunity for boating, fishing, ice fishing, and proximity to the Saratoga Springs and Lake George areas make the park attractive to visitors. Rowboats, kayaks, and paddleboards are available for rent Memorial Day through Labor Day. In the winter, snowshoes are available for rent, and ice skis are also available free of charge. Please note, we do not allow campers, motorhomes, trailers, or horse trailers down at the beach on the weekends, holidays, Memorial through Labor Day. Located on the beach road is our vacation rental. The Lake Shore Cottage provides everything from a refrigerator, stove, dishes, utensils, to screened porch, bathrooms with showers, beds, pillows, and cozy fireplace. So that looks like they have some stuff going on here. It looks like a normal campsite that has, you know, a lot of natural amenities to it. But again, she's missing. So, you know, this is the girl, Charlotte Sena, 9 years old, white female, 5'1", 90 pounds, had an orange tie-dye Pokemon t-shirt, which is displayed in the photo there, right here. Dark blue leggings or pants. She had Crocs on and a gray helmet. So the gray helmet is what's causing me some concern here, because the only time we're accustomed to seeing children with helmets on is if they either had a major brain surgery and they are required to wear it everywhere they go, or they're riding their bike. Or riding something like a Segway or something that the parents want to make sure if they fall off of it and hit their head, they're not causing any damage. So it seems to me she was doing something, some type of activity that put her in motion for her to have that helmet on. Do campgrounds have any surveillance? I wonder. Eileen, is it Eileen or Aileen? It's probably Eileen. Eileen, I don't know. I can tell you when we were searching for Paola Miranda Rosa, there appeared to be, as you entered the park and paid for your ticket, there was a mounted camcorder. When we were asking about that camcorder, we came to find out that it was a dummy recorder just for prevention. It didn't record, or it had recorded at one point, but it was broken. Inside the actual reserve, no. I have not found one yet that has like trail type of cameras on it where people, you know, just for purposes of making sure that everybody that goes in comes out, you know. So some of them I'm sure do have cameras, active cameras that are recording at least the people that are coming in and leaving. But there's no guarantee to that, because even in the situation like Paola Miranda Rosa, the cameras there didn't work. If she was abducted, and the really weird thing was we went out there several different trips to search for her, just to see if she might have had a medical emergency or something, and, you know, something happened to her and she was inside the woods, in the swamp, not in the water or anything like that. And what was it? There was a white van when we were getting out one time, but it just one of those, the weird part about this white van is it made the hair on the back of all of our necks stand up. It was just weird. It had windows in it, but you couldn't see through the windows. It was really just it was just something that Olivia, her mother, I, and another creator that was out there with us, we were just kind of like it took our breath away. It was just weird. I don't know how to explain it. Nothing happened. Nothing happened at all. Didn't say anything to us. Didn't make any hand gestures to us. It was just we were just about to start our search, and this white van, it almost felt like they were following us and watching us, and that's what creeped us out. But every single one of us felt that odd vibe from this van. I don't know what that meant or means. So thank you, Fearless. Thank you. I'll do replay so I'll know what happened to her. Yeah, we don't even know what happened to her, to be honest with you, Rhonda. I have not an earthly idea where this young lady could possibly be. Oh, hold on a second. Hey, Mom.
Hey. Moreau State Park, near the Moreau Lake, they have weather camps up in the mountains. I don't know if that would be a good idea for law enforcement to check. Don't know, but I just Googled it. I used Lake Moreau security cameras, and the only thing that popped up was weather cameras.
Yeah, but I don't think it's going to be in the direction. We're just trying to see if we can see like any cars that were going in and out at the time. Yeah. All right, Mom, I appreciate it. I'll open up the phones lines in just a few. I love you. Mm-hmm. Bye-bye. Okay. Lots of mountains. Someone took her. Yeah, that's kind of it. It's starting to feel like that. I kind of feel like she's 9 years old, so we haven't heard that she has any medical disabilities, like she's got ADHD or anything, or she's on the spectrum, or doesn't speak, or is nonverbal, or anything like that. So I would think that she could hear them calling her and could call back. So that was one of the things that I didn't even think about until the Summer Wells case. And one of the neighbors, every time I was out there, because of the situation and how hot the situation, how elevated the situation was out there. So I never went out there or spoke to anybody, especially when I was by myself, without recording. I recorded everything. When I'm by myself, my camera does not turn off. And that's just because I put myself in a lot of dangerous situations, and that camera may be the only thing that might tell somebody what happened, right? So I understand that going in, but I always record things, and this was no different. I was on the road, and I was just, I was there. I can't remember what I was in Tennessee for. It really wasn't for Summer Wells, but I was going to, I think, a political event, and I was passing through. So I decided to take a detour and stop in Hawkins County. And so while I was there, one of the neighbors was coming down, and he was a rough looking guy, very nice, but old mountain man, rough looking guy, but on the mountain for many years, didn't wear shoes. His feet were like Fred Flintstone. And the reason why I say that is because he made it a point to tell me he does not wear shoes. He described that day that Summer Wells went missing and said, look, I don't know what happened. Well, first of all, he told me he would talk to me if I turned the recorder off. And I said, I would. He knows who he is. And you guys have seen him give interviews in the past to the news. So he told me he would talk to me if my camera was off. So I did honor that request, and I did turn my camera off. And this is what he told me. He said the day that Summer went missing, he goes, I didn't know what was going on. He goes, all I can tell you is I heard a lot of commotion. He said that he's on the very back side of the hill, the mountain on Ben Hill. He's all the way to the back. And he said when this all took place and Summer just wandered off, you know, that's what the parents are saying, that they believe that she wandered off or she was abducted. Does not believe, nobody on the mountain believes that there's any possibility of her being abducted, because there's other children in areas that wouldn't be so difficult to take. So that was eliminated. But he did say that day he actually helped them search for Summer Wells when she was missing, because he heard the commotion and he heard her mother screaming, Summer, Summer, where are you? And mind you, he was all the way on the back side of the mountain. And one of the things that he said to me that I never took into consideration was, if I could hear her all the way on the back side of the mountain and Summer Wells just disappeared, why couldn't she holler back to her mother? And I thought about that for a second, and he was right. When she was looking for her, when Candace was looking for Summer, Summer was nowhere around that home. Nowhere. And people are going to say, well, that solidifies the abduction theory. No, it doesn't. Because so far, we don't have one car coming onto that property. Nothing. Not one vehicle. There's cameras at Ben Hill Road, and not one leak of a vehicle being seen on that camera coming in and leaving. But one thing that they do see on that camera leaving is Candace leaving that property 2 times. I find that a little odd. So just saying. I don't know if somebody took her. And you know what, guys? It's sad to say, because she is missing. I can tell you that her parents are probably going through nothing short of a nightmare right now, because they have every law enforcement personnel up their wazoo, as far up it as you could possibly imagine, because the parents are going to have to be cleared of any wrongdoing. They need to clear the parents and move past the parents so they can get to work on finding out what happened to this young lady. And believe me, they're going to be doing some searches, and they have teams that do the searches and teams that do the interview and interrogations. They're 2 totally different teams. There's a press conference at 1:30 for New York Amber Alert. Where are we? So this is coming up. Guidance, do you have the link? Do we have the link? By the way, Emmy, thank you for running the same story. I do appreciate that, getting Charlotte out there. I noticed JJ wasn't around, so I just thought I'd tell her thank you. Okay, so do we have any idea where the press conference is going to be? Guys, stick around. We're going to listen to what law enforcement has to say at the press conference. Hopefully we got some good news. Hopefully this press conference is telling us that they found this young girl, that she's going to be able to be reunited with her family, that she was lost out in the wood, nothing nefarious happened, and that, you know, all is well. Thanks for all that came out to volunteer. That's what we always like to hear from these press conferences. So I'm very interested to find out if that's truly what we're going to hear today from this law enforcement agent. Let's keep our fingers crossed, but I have to believe that if that was the case, we would be hearing it on all social media platforms. And right now, let me just go over to Twitter and just take a look and see if I see any updates on her. And 22 minutes ago from WGRZ saying an Amber Alert issued for child abducted out of Saratoga County, just north of Albany. So that is upstate. Charlotte E. Sena is a white female with long blonde hair. She's 9 years old, 5'1", 190 pounds. That just came out from one of the from WGRZ 22 minutes ago. So it sounds to me like we've got some problems here and that this is not good. If she goes over 48 hours, it's not going to be good. This is not looking good. At this point, we're going to listen to what this press conference says. We're going to listen to what law enforcement has to say, and we're going to pay close attention. If they need our help, we're going to go out there and help, whether it be searching, if we need to post flyers, if we need to do whatever we need to do. Also, I would like to, for my moderators, I'd like to get a standard missing person flyer for the Bullhorn Betty channel. I've got something that I'll send to you guys, but I'm going to have somebody that's going to use it. I want to change the colors of it too. That's more branded to our channel. But we definitely want to have a missing person flyer that we can get printed up, get designed, where we just plug in the information, put in the photo, and get stuff generated and printed so we can get that stuff out to these families. But I'll send you my template, and maybe a couple different hands on it can really make it pop. So we'll talk about that. Just remind me a little bit later about that. If Robert's girl is in the house, if you can put a comment in the comment box below, I greatly appreciate it. I've been waiting for you and I have not seen it, and I can only fix your wrench issue from this side. I tried to do it the other day. I'm just not a techie person. I really don't know. I mean, outside of running a YouTube live, I know nothing. So just FYI, little girls and boys should be equipped with GPS if they go camping. That's not a bad idea. You guys see me where I wear my press badge and stuff like that. On that press badge also is a whistle, and a whistle that has a compass on it and a little flashlight. So let me go grab that for you so you guys can see. And I think something like that actually wouldn't be a bad idea because they can just wear it around their neck. And if they wore it around their neck, then they could, they just put it under the shirt. They wouldn't even know they have it on. It seems like that they would use it. But I need to find, let me keep watching this, guys. I'm not trying to pass your comment. Rhiannon says, I guess she doesn't see me from Northern New York, trying to tell her the park is in the Adirondack Mountains. I can't pronounce that word, but yeah, no, I don't read. It's hard to read a lot when I'm reading over here because I've got two screens. So all my information is over here. So when I'm reading over here, I'm definitely not reading comments. Most of the comments here, usually is for the audience and stuff like that. But occasionally I'll catch some comments here and some comments there. And when I do, I try to answer them the best I can. But just because you write it doesn't mean I see it. So I apologize about that. I do the best I can, though. Karma, maybe you should help search. Yeah, there's going to be some searches. I think we definitely have some people out in our chat that are not too far from this area. I would love for our family here on social media to get involved, especially if you're close to this area. If they need volunteers, please consider donating your time, guys. I tell you what, it truly does feel good to do good. And I have to be honest, when you go out and help somebody else, even if you don't find her, just the act of giving, the selflessness of just getting out there and trying to help find someone, it's something, it's a feeling of accomplishment, it's feeling of doing good. It's just, I don't know, you just walk a little taller, you're a little happier, you feel good, you feel better. So if you're in the area, it looks like we got a lot of people that are in the New York area, not too far from where all of this is happening. And I'm asking all of my social media family out there and abroad, if you guys are in the New York area and they're asking, we're going to find out here soon once we get the link to the press conference. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to juggle 15,000 things. Okay, they're going to be doing it at the governor's office. Hold on a second. Do we have what's one of your local news stations out there in New York in this area that, well, then never mind, the Saratoga News. Okay, so let me just see if I can find something in Saratoga. Just a second. All right, I can't find the link, but we'll just keep working. I'm sure somebody will post it when it starts getting in. If you can get down the street, hold on a second. Give me just a second. All right. Looks like we got at least an area that we can. Sorry about that. I had to find out which one we've got. So it looks like we do have a local news station right now that I don't know if they're going to be going live about this, but at least we have somebody that's out in that area that can go live. If somebody gets the link or starts seeing another channel, like another local news channel going live, please let me know. Thank you, Denise. I appreciate that. God bless you. I know it's more than likely nothing to do with this, but does anyone know if the Canadian wildfires are making their way to New York? Muffy, I really don't know. I thought those fires were like weeks ago. Are they still going on? Holy crap. If they are, my goodness. Charlotte lives only 30 minutes from campsite. Huh. What? Only 30 minutes? Well, I mean, I guess people have gone to campsites fairly close to their home before, but that just seems... Okay, thank you. All right, I got it. Thank you. Hold on, I think I got it. Give me just a second, guys. I don't know how these people, some people can get it. Some people got it like that. Some people just don't. Okay. All right, here we go. I'll put this over here. Okay, we got the press conference, I think, live now. Okay, we're going to share this. Watch now. Okay. Did they already have it? Pause. I can't see. Is this live? Is this so it hasn't come on yet? Is that what am I understanding? All right. So let's go ahead and just okay. So we're just going to put that elevator music down, and when she comes up on the screen, we will turn the volume back up. And then until then, we're going to go ahead and just go over. It doesn't look like, I mean, I seriously have no information But even something, I just don't have any information about this other than what we've heard. She went missing at 6:45. It was 16 hours before they did an Amber Alert. When they did an Amber Alert, they're saying that she's in extreme danger of bodily harm or death. And now we're all on, like, all hands on deck right here, praying and hoping that she's just lost in the woods. The good news is it appears that they captured a photo of her that day while she was out in the woods. The bad news is that photo is very grainy and not of high quality, making it very hard to see her facial features. So we're having to get her facial features from other types of photos and then try to look at her hair length and stuff like that. So it's just, I don't know. It's just this poor girl, her family. It sounds like there's more involved in this than what meets the eye. And I'm hoping that we can learn some valuable information about this case from the governor. It sounds like this is the press conference related to this from the governor. So this is getting to be a very important thing. Flopping hot fines, helmet cab be for climbing. Oh, yeah, for climbing very rocky ledge areas. Well, I'm hoping that she wouldn't be doing something like that without, I mean, she's 9 years old. I would hope she's not doing something like that without parental, without a parent. But yeah, you're right. I didn't even think about that. It could definitely be for rock climbing and stuff like that. And that would be the area that you would probably be more involved in, more likely, I guess is basically what I'm trying to say. I don't see anything on Facebook. Okay, well, we got it. We've got the, it's right here. That's what we got right there. And you can hear I got the music down very, very, very low, but we can still hear the music. Oh, Bean Feathers. It's been a little while. Nice to see you. Another missing child. My heart breaks for the family. Not just that, but this is really unclear because they're not really releasing a whole lot of information about what happened to this child. It's just that it took so long to get the Amber Alert out, and they're not telling us, how they thought this child was abducted, why they think this child is in danger. It just, they're not telling us enough to help, really. I mean, it's when they give us information, we're not just wanting information to be nosy, at least not for me. I mean, sometimes I guess we want information just to be nosy. Let's be honest, right? But for most part, it's not to be nosy. It's to be able to provide information that can help our audience help them. When you don't have the right information out there, you're not giving them information that's needed. Like, for example, we had a white car leave here at a high rate of speed shortly after we believe she left, or she disappeared. Something that can help us identify something, or let us use our crafts to start sleuthing. But where do you begin? Where do you begin? Hopefully they can get a scent. Yes, hopefully they can. If they get the dogs out there quickly. But remember, we actually did a whole, and we may need to do it again, a whole segment on the dogs and the differences of dogs and why dogs can't be trained exactly the same. Like, you can't have one dog that does multiple things. Like, you have your scent dogs, you got your track dogs, you got your decomp type dogs. And those are trained differently. Like, a decomp dog can't be like a water dog. You know what I'm saying? So it's different training. But dogs, one of the things that I found out with the training of dogs, there are a lot of environmental elements that make some of their stuff unsuccessful. If we wonder, like when dogs come in and they're not finding the track, or they're not finding the trace, or they're picking up the scent, but they're going on a wild goose chase, those are sometimes environmental elements that affect that scent, such as rain or heavy wind that carry that scent further away than what it is. So it was really actually very interesting. I have to be honest with you, learning about the dogs and their capabilities, and learning that really it comes down to their training. Not all dogs are perfect. Just because they're trained for scent doesn't mean they're the best trained for scent. So there's a lot of things that could affect their ability to find that scent and find that person. So I thought it was really interesting. The dog talk. Maybe we'll do another segment on that. Maybe, you know what? Maybe I will. And I think maybe I'll reach out to maybe some dog trainers and maybe they'll be able to provide a little bit more information. That would be fun. I think that would be a great video. So we'll see about it. We'll see about it. Now, did the governor, let me get down here to the bottom, make sure I didn't miss it like I did once before. Once before we came in here, and by the time I got a hold of it, you know what I just thought of? Well, this is New York. It's East Coast. What time did they say they were having this? I thought it was at 1:30. Yeah, 1:30. Update on the search for Charlotte Sena. So, yeah. Yeah. I don't know what to think of this. I really don't. You're in the right side. That's her official. You're in the right side. Okay. So you're just letting me know I got the right place. Okay, perfect. I appreciate it. You guys rock. You guys rock. I appreciate all the help. So bike was found. Okay. So here, somebody said that there was a bike found. All right. Now I truly believe that this was if they found the bike, I believe that this was, no. Then my theories will change. It's not, if her bike is found, then my theory has changed. And wandering off would be removed from my, most likely from my my possibility sheet on this one. So I'm hearing the bike was even, the carbon monoxide off the trees, but that's kind of more natural. I don't know what it is. It's natural to have trees burning. I'm sorry, if a tree's burning, a forest is burning, I wouldn't be so worried about it. I mean, yeah, breathing in it would be sucky, but it's part of life. And so I think it has a filtration type of situation with wildfires. However, that being said, in those wildfires, a lot of crap gets melted. There's just a lot of toxic crap that gets melted as well. And I think that that's more harmful than just the smoke from the wood. So I get it. Air quality is air quality. We all have to breathe, and we all want to. We don't want crap in our lungs either. You know, for me, it's just part of life. I have crap in my lungs. Damn 20s and 30s did that to me. Oh, I bet you my 20s. I could have probably kept up with Snoop Dogg. Okay. I'd have been pooping nuggets. All right, I'm stopping. Lemon drop, their braids. If you're talking about Betty, I think she looks aw. What does lemon drop say? Pigtails. They're my braid. I got braids. My question is, why are you? I don't understand why you're so hell bent on being nasty to people, just being mean like that. Who cares? If my head was fucking bald, who cares? That's what I don't understand. Why do people have to be so nasty and mean? And you know what? I can promise you, I'm not part of the problem. And Lemon Drop, you're in here all the time. I see you. I see your comments. Why do you have to be so damn snarky? Is your life really that miserable? Why don't you put on a smiling face and find something to be positive about? Every time you want to say something negative about Bullhorn Betty, find something positive to say. Because you know what? Most good teachers, that would be the lesson that they would be giving their students. At least that was the way good teachers were back in my day. You know, I can't really say about the pieces of crap teaching our children this day and age, but I shouldn't say that. A lot of great teachers out there. Actually, a lot of great teachers are my friends. I have some teachers here in Manatee County that I work with. So, you know, I love teachers. I just don't like teachers that have enough time to attack another female. Like anybody, you think the teachers that I work with and I've seen and communicate with and affiliated with, do you think they're out here on YouTube picking on a creator? Do you think they have time to? No, they don't, because they're too busy making lessons and educating our children. And as you know, that's a job in itself. They don't have hours to spend on here to bash other people. As a matter of fact, every single teacher I met actually likes to share love and positive commentary, not negative ones, not ones that are demeaning, ones that pick on people. That's not that's okay. I'm sure she probably, if she's acting like this in public, I'm pretty sure that her career probably is, maybe coming to an end soon. I just want to make sure I don't have a hand in nothing. I don't have a hand in nothing. And I don't want that to happen for her. But in all fairness, it's just how she acts in public. God knows how she's acting at that school. Probably not very good. I don't know. I corrected my autocorrect a couple comments later and not then. Okay, well, that's fine. Well, if it happens, it happens. You know, we all, I don't know how many times the other day, what did I say? What was that I said? Who was I writing to? I kept saying something and it kept saying, I wanted to say cup. I think that's what it said. Cup. That's what I think I was trying to write. And it kept saying clip. Like CLIP, like clip. And so I went up there before I sent it. This is what irritates me. And I get so frustrated because people tease me. They're like, first of all, I talk to text. So if there's any errors in the text and the periods and the commas and stuff, I talk to text. And trust me, if you see it like that, then you know you weren't really worth my time to even proofread it, because usually I even proofread my talk to text. And if it's got misspellings, it's probably weren't even worth my time to even go back and proofread. But the ones that I do go back and proofread, you know, I change it, and I changed it from clip to cup. And I did that twice. And when I sent it and I went back and read, the email, it said clip, and I'm like, I'm going to tell you, I will be honest with you. Today is Sunday. I will not lie. I don't lie anyways, but I will not lie today. Okay. No, not even a white lie. Not even a white lie. I sure did. I cussed. I said, the SOB word. Because I changed that like 3 stinking times. conference. Don't they know that like 1:30 means 1:30? The governor's time's valuable, but so is the rest of ours. Men like braids on. But I just did it. I just did it because my hair was getting in my face. So I was actually about to do another cooking video. some a-hole, right? Of course, everybody's just got to be mean, but I'm gonna call it out. Some a-hole's like, oh, I can't believe you didn't wash your hands, and I'm like, lady, you realize when I was on that side of the screen, that movement, that went like this and everything, and then you saw me grab a black towel and wipe my hands off. That's me washing my hands. I mean, that was a 20-minute video, and I'm pretty sure I washed my hands like 4 times. Like, I don't know anybody else in this chat room that washes their hands every 5 minutes when they're cooking. I don't usually wash my hands like that. I usually wear gloves, but that's only when I'm working with like ground beef and meat, stuff that can get up under my nails. I can't stand it. There's something about meat getting up under my nails that just grosses me out. So if I'm making meatballs, or I'm making meatloaf, or I'm making hamburger, or anything like sausage, or I wear latex gloves. I can't stand the But if it's just like a steak or a chicken or something like that, I'll just wash my hands. It's not a big deal. The air quality warnings. Well, Muffy, I'm so sorry that you're having all that problems there. I thought that stuff went away I don't know. I just don't. It's kind of crazy because I'm so consumed by true crime that I literally eat, drink, and sleep it. So when I wake up in the morning, and I wake up all throughout the night, guys. I don't know if you guys know this. My mods know this because I'm usually answering emails anywhere between midnight and 4 a.m. in the morning. It doesn't matter. I just sometimes just wake up and I'm up. I'll go to bed. When I'm tired, I go to sleep. When I'm up, I'm up. I work, right? So sometimes I'll start working at 2 o'clock in the morning, but I'll go to bed at like 5:30 in the morning and sleep until 7:30 in the morning. Just get a 2-hour power nap, and then I'm up doing this live. But I gotta tell you, it's rough. It's rough. There's a child missing, and they're worried about your pigtails. You can't fix stupid. I'm just, no offense, Lemon Drop. Bad day for you. Bad day for you. We're picking on you. I'm sorry. Quit messing with my pigtails, girl. Lordy. I mean, you know what? At the end of the day, these people that pick on me look like houses, and at least most of them do. And it's like, you know what? I'm a cute. Listen. I know what I got. I got a smart brain. I'm a bold woman. I can sing. I'm an entertainer. I'm a political activist. Like I know what I bring to the table. Like I know I'm the shit. And you know what? At the end of the day, they can sit there and try to tear that shit down all day long. But you know what? I'm telling you what. I'm a person that takes chicken poop and turns it into chicken soup, and I do it as well as hell's bells. I tell you what, nobody like me. Nobody like me. But that's probably why they attack me so much, right? Because some people have it and some people don't. I'm sorry. I'm queer. I attract attention. It's my personality. It's who I am. I know that that's one of the things that I have that's on my side. If I want to command attention, I can command attention anywhere I go. I've had that ability since I was a child. And it's upsetting to people. You know what else is upsetting to people? Is that they want to push their will upon me, and they want to put their emotions on me, and I don't buy into it, and I don't buy it. I do my own thing. If it bothers you that much, then do something about it. Because if it bothered me that much, guess what I would do? I would do something about it. So I don't like weak people because I'm not a weak person. If I see something wrong, I do what I can to fix it. If I see somebody doing something wrong, I say something about it. If somebody needs help, I give them the help that they need. But you know what? At the end of the day, I'm a content creator. So guess what? My journey's recorded. And we're probably going to end up going out there and helping for this search. because I want to know what's going on with this young girl. And 9 years old, I'm sure her family's going to need help. And I don't want people calling her family and blowing her family up and being nasty a-holes to their family, saying, "Oh my God, stay away from the horrible Bullhorn Betty," because the only people that bring the S show is you guys, and we can prove it now. So just stay away from these people, because the only people that turn this stuff into a nightmare is you guys. And you thinking that you can exploit families, all the while pointing at Bullhorn Betty that raises her own funds to get out to places, saying I'm exploiting families. Well, I'm not pimping these families out on my channel. You are, right? And you guys have been. Like Don Wells, right? Billy Joe. Pimping out every single criminal out there walking the streets. You guys pimp out. Exploit. How the tables turn. Holy shit. I got to be honest with you. How the tables turn. I tried to tell you guys out the gate. Did I not? I tried to tell you guys out the gate. They're saying, look over there, so you ain't looking at what's going on over here. And every single thing that they said that we were doing, they're doing. I told you this is how it would end. I told you that 2 years ago. Everybody, receipts. Open your flipping eyes. Who needs receipts? Who needs receipts, babe? All right, guys.
Good afternoon.
We're here.
I'm joined today by Lieutenant Colonel Richard Mazzone, Troop Chief Commander Major Dennis Shager. We also have representation from law enforcement, including the FBI. On a picture-perfect fall day here in upstate New York, Charlotte Sena's family and friends gathered for a weekend of one of the last few days. They came here to just have an ordinary time. The kids could have a chance to be in nature, have a chance to be kids. And they came to this beautiful scenic state park, Moreau State Park, literally 15 minutes from where Charlotte and her two sisters were raised. They rode bikes around the loop road we see. They camped, they cooked out, and they're here to make memories, the kind that last a lifetime. But instead, the day turned into every parent's nightmare. I just met with Charlotte's parents, David and Tricia, obviously distraught. And as a mother and as a grandmother, I cannot imagine the pain they're going through. They shared with me how joyful their little girl is. A fourth grader just recently elected to be a class officer for student council. And everybody thought of her as just a really nice girl, the kind that people wanted to be friends with, the kind that looked out for other children, the pride of every parent. So it's a very hard time for her family. I'll go through the circumstances of her disappearance, and we'll have representation from law enforcement talk about the search. Charlotte was camping with her family here in Moreau State Park. Last evening, she went out on a bike ride. It wasn't dark. It was right around dinner time, and did a couple of loops with close friends she considers her cousins. And then she decided, after going around Troop A, she said she just wanted to go around one more time by herself. Be that big girl, do it by herself. Literally 15 minutes later, she hadn't come back yet. And that's really when the nightmare begins. Her parents...
Sounds like she was abducted, guys.
They called her name. People started searching. People from other campgrounds joined. And 30 minutes later, at 6:47, Charlotte's mother, Tricia, called 911. The scene was chaotic. People leaving their food, leaving their tables, just everyone in search, calling the name Charlotte. By 7 p.m., the state police were on site. And for the last 18 plus hours, teams from the New York State Police, dogs, aviation, our bloodhounds are here. The sword operators, our special response teams are on site. New York State Park Police, forest rangers, underwater rescue teams, and drones. We brought in technology experts also to analyze other
I hope
forms of
somebody asks her
communications in the
about
park at
cameras in
that
the
time.
area.
A command post has been established at the state park right behind us. And additional search teams were deployed this morning. Right now, there's over 100 personnel deployed, 75 law enforcement on the ground, the 2 drones, an airboat search team, 6 underwater rescue teams, another boat that has sonar. We also have the Schenectady Fire Office here assisting with the search, given that Charlene is the niece of one of the members of the Schenectady Fire Department. We are leaving no stone, no branch, no table, no cabin unturned, untouched, unexamined in our search to find Charlotte. We'll keep the members of the public updated. I promised her parents we'll find her daughter. She's all of our daughters. Their family needs love. They need prayers. And if you know anything, if you've seen anything, you hear anything, please contact 911 to tell us what you know and what you may contribute to the search for this little girl. Hearts are broken here today in New York. Hopefully there'll be a reunion. Hopefully there'll be a family that has been traumatized but is reunited. That is our prayer and our hope at this time.
Doesn't sound
With
like
that,
it.
let me bring up Lieutenant Colonel Richard Mazzone to follow up on our continuing search for Charlotte.
I'm sorry, but her voice doesn't sound too promising for me.
Thank you, Governor. Good afternoon. I am Lieutenant Colonel Richard Mazzone, Assistant Deputy Superintendent of the New York State Police Uniform Force. Shortly before 7 p.m. last night, State Police responded to Moreau State Park in the town of Moreau for a report of a missing 9-year-old female identified as Charlotte E. Sena of Greenfield, New York. Charlotte was last seen at approximately 6:15 p.m. riding her bike in Loop A of the park. At approximately 6:45 p.m., Charlotte's bike was located in Loop A, and at 6:47 p.m., Charlotte's mom, Tricia, called 911 to report the child missing. A command center was subsequently established at the Moreau State Park office, and search teams were deployed, which consisted of New York State Police uniformed troopers, State Police Special Operations Response Team, New York State Park Police, Forest Rangers, and our unmanned aerial systems, underwater recovery team, aviation, and canine, as well as several civilian volunteers. The missing child alert was issued last night, and search efforts continued throughout the night. In addition to our massive search efforts, our Bureau of Criminal Investigation has been conducting interviews with those in the park and around the region, as well as pursuing all investigative leads. Additional search teams were deployed this morning, and an Amber Alert was issued at 9:35 a.m. this morning. I want to thank our state police members, our park police and forest rangers, and all of our law enforcement and community partners for their commitment and efforts to find Charlotte. We continue to dedicate all resources that we can to find Charlotte and bring her home safely. Charlotte E. Sena is a 9-year-old white female with long blonde hair, is approximately 5 foot 1 inch in height, and weighs about 90 pounds. She was last seen wearing an orange tie-dye Pokemon shirt, dark blue pants, black Crocs, and a gray bike helmet. Members of the State Police Wilton BCI will be leading this investigation, and anyone with any information is asked to call the New York State Police at 518-477-9333 or call 911. Any updates will be posted to the State Police newsroom at nyspnews.com. Thank you. If there are any questions, I'll take them at this time.
Just wondering what led you to issue the Amber Alert, specifically language in the alert.
What led to the issuance of the Amber Alert?
Well, following our exhaustive search of the park, we took that step of issuing the Amber Alert because we felt that after that exhaustive search, when we couldn't find her here, it was quite possible that an abduction had taken place.
Tyler McNeil with the Daily Gazette. I was just wondering in terms of how much of the park has been covered so far. You know,
How much the park has been searched is the question.
Well, certainly we started at the area that she was last seen, and over the course of the last 18 hours, we've conducted an exhaustive search of the park. We've been checking the waterways. As I mentioned, we have our drones and aviation assets looking from above while our teams are on the ground. We had a bloodhound assigned to this area, several other canines. So I feel confident at this point. We've conducted a search of this park, and we're going to continue with that while we also search every other avenue. Certainly that possibility exists, yes.
Cameras
Well,
are just
I really
asked.
don't want to get into the cameras and
They've got cameras,
the
guys.
technological aspects of our investigation and our search at this time. But I can assure you, as the governor mentioned, that we are doing everything we can to reunite.
They got
Charlotte with her
cameras.
family.
They got something.
All right, thanks everybody.
All right. You guys know me. I read through the bullshit. Sorry. It's just it's a habit of mine. I read through it. I tell you guys what I hear is much different than what everybody else hears when they're discussing these types of things because of their inability to answer certain questions. The inability to answer certain questions are what leads me to come up with some of my responses because in the lack of information, people physically telling you information, the only thing you have to work off of that point is behavior. Is their body language, their behavior, the way they're speaking, what they're not telling you. What they're not telling you in many cases is so important. What they're failing to tell you is typically the catalyst, right? It's the catalyst. So when it comes to law enforcement, it sounds like there are some cameras somewhere. They do have cameras. I can tell you just by his response and the way he adjusted himself answering that question, they do have some cameras. Now, I don't know if those cameras mean anything to them just yet. You know, when you have a lot of stuff and you have cars going in, cars going out, that doesn't mean a whole lot. Yeah, you know, you got to do some more like pulling the records, getting those the digital footprint in first. Who was in the area? They're going to be looking at every cell phone, and because everybody has cell phones now, even people that don't have money get free cell phones. So somebody, almost just about everywhere, you're going to have a cell phone. And so they're going to be looking at the cell phone. They're going to be looking at the cell phones in connection with somebody coming and going from that park in and around the time. Who was in that park near her at the time that she was going? Even people that you don't see, the digital footprint sees that phone. They may not see that person, but they see that phone. I have never been a fan of GPS tracker, but the more it seems children need trackers under their, that's just too much. That's too far. That's too much of a slippery slope, even for parents to make that decision for them. We never know. The problem I see with that is that it sounds good in theory, but when you apply it, it really has devastating consequences. For example, anything that we have that's electronic can be hacked, right? So now something that was meant to be to help us find our children is now being used to track us even more. And God knows who would be tracking us. Could this be a predator? Could this be a country? Could this be, we don't know. I just think it's a slippery slope. And if you play the tape through, in theory, it sounds great. But when you apply that theory to practice, you realize the devastating consequences that could have. And I think that's where it is. But I do believe in trackers, like something around their neck, something on their arm, like one of those activity bands. They have even jewelry. They got nice jewelry out now, earrings, necklaces, and bracelets that you can tap a specific type of tapping on it, and it'll alert that you're in danger. So it's this very, very specific tap that you have to do, or a series of presses that get it to engage. But if you're in a situation, it'll send and it'll track you wherever you are, and it'll send out a tracking thing. So I think those things would be good. Backpacks, putting them on bicycles, putting them on, even clothing. If your child's going to be going out and playing in the yard, have something that it can just attach to them. And when it gets into medical procedures to track, and Nope. Nope. But I get your point. But it this day and age, yeah. I mean, we need to start getting creative and thinking of things that will help keep our kids safer, because this world is getting crazier. And the bottom line is the people are being really smart at praying. They're watching the minute your back is turned. We don't have eyes in the back of our head. We don't have, and you know what? And we don't need the grief of losing our children because we had to look at something. That's got to be the most gut wrenching thing. Like, you take your eyes just for a second and your world just falls apart. I just can't. So she was riding no adults, right, with her, going on adults with these trails and parks are getting killed, and these cases, and the girls get murdered climbing in fact. I hope some nuts into that case. Well, 9 years old, I keep looking back, trying to think about my lifestyle. 9 years old, my parents weren't watching me. Even my hover mom wasn't hovering like she was prior to that. 9 years old, you're walking, you're talking, you're thinking, right from wrong, and not only that, but you heard their language. She was in a group. So in a group of kids, it's in a park. I mean, I can remember being 5 and 6 years old and playing with my friends in Jenny Springs alone without adults. So you feel safe. And yes, there's a lot of people, we say you can't, nothing's day and age. Well, all of us are emerged, right? We're emerged in true crime. I mean, you guys are on the Bullhorn Betty channel. I don't know if you noticed that or not, right? But we're true crime. So we watch this stuff day in and day out. That's why we're all hermits, right? We know how bad the world is out there. But some people aren't like us, they don't want to know. They don't have a desire to know. They don't think things will happen to them. And a lot of the people that end up coming onto our show were of that same mindset until it did. So this is one of those things where this family, I can't imagine it. This could have been any of us. Think about it, this time of year. It's beautiful. We're going to start having flannel weather. Like if you guys were in church today, they're about to have, fall stuff. They have this flannel, whatever. I don't know. Miss Robin could tell us, or whoever else was in the Lady O. We had a lot of people from the club over at church this morning. So, but they have, like this little flannel event going on for, as the weather's getting cooler and as we're starting to get into fall, as we start approaching, winter. It's just, I don't know. This time, it could have been any of us, right? It really could have. And it could have been our family. We all love going outdoors. We all love doing things. We shouldn't be prey. We should be able to live free in this country and be able to go out with our friends and go camping. I mean, Jesus, when I was young, you know what we did? We camped out in our front yard where our parents slept, and we ran up and down the damn street, TP in somebody's house, getting into shenanigans, right? But the one thing we weren't worried about is somebody picking us up off the side of the road while we were in those shenanigans. And that's the one thing we didn't worry about. Nowadays, you can't even go to a freaking park and go camping with your family to have time and fun and let your kids just get all that extra angst and energy out of their bodies, which nothing does that like the great outdoors. Let's be honest. It's sad. It's sad. All right. Well, there's not much, a whole lot more to go on with this case. We heard it right from the governor's office that this girl, it sounds like she was riding a bike. We knew that there had to have been a bike involved. The helmet gave it away. So it sounds like her bike was found. She was not. This is not, but see, the problem is I didn't hear her say, we heard her saying that she was on a bike and she never came back, but I didn't specifically hear them say that she was, that they found the bike, but we did hear from somebody else that the bike was found. So I think the bike was found. It bows right into her having a helmet on. It sounds like she was abducted, guys. Listening to that lady speaking, you could hear it in her face and in her eyes and in her speech that this is not going to turn out good. If she's abducted, by the time they had this Amber Alert out, guys, the statistics tell us she was already dead. And I know people are like, right? Because I say that I speak statistics here. I don't speak emotion, you know? And it's like people are like, how can you, I can't believe you say that. There's a possibility she's not. But listen, the majority of our statistics, guys, is saying that this is not good. And coupled with the way the governor's office was speaking, you know, it didn't seem like she was hopeful. If you guys just watched the press conference, if you felt the mayor's office was hopeful, or not the mayor's office, the governor's office, sorry about that. The governor's office, it's misspeaking. I thought I said governors, but I guess I said mayors. I just happened to catch myself. My brain is saying one thing and my mouth is saying another. If you believe that the governor's office feels hopeful, or you feel like they had hope, put a 1 in the chat. If you think that she didn't seem so hopeful, that this doesn't, it seems to you that the governor's office seems to be a little melancholy, sad. If you feel that's the feeling you got from that press conference, put a 2 in the chat, because I'm a 2, or I'm 2 all the way on this, because when she was saying it, that's what made me turn my microphone on and say, this does not sound good. Jack's drama, I quipped. Yeah, it sounds like we all felt that. Okay, so it wasn't just me. We all kind of felt. Yes, ma'am.
Hey.
Hey.
Am I on speaker?
Yes, ma'am.
Good morning, everyone, or good afternoon, everyone, depending on where you're at. Let me.
Hold on, I've got to get the microphone over to you because you're too far away from the microphone. Okay, go ahead and talk.
First of all, when I sent you that news clip this morning, I didn't know you already knew. But in my reading today, after 16 hours of searching, you've got New York State, you've got the Park Service, the Department of Interior, the game wardens, everyone is front and center searching for this girl, the fire departments. They haven't found her in 16 hours with scent dogs. And now they're talking about sonaring the lake. They know something. Okay. Yeah. They know something. The park cameras, they've seized the clips, the chips. I think the reason they put that Amber Alert out, even though it wasn't referring to a person or a car, was so that when they do come back with the actual information, they can say they've exhausted every avenue of communication. But I think that someone in that park that was camping literally took her and exited with her.
I believe that too. Absolutely. Because and they were whoever did it were watching those kids, because they took that opportunity. The one time she was going to go by herself was the time she didn't come back. Somebody was watching those kids.
Absolutely. And I bet when they find who it was, it'll be a young person. Because I recall down in, I think it was South Florida, the teenage boy that lived across the street that was like a loner. Mm-hmm. He asked his neighbor's daughter, because she was outside playing in the backyard, to come over, and he hid her under his bed after he killed her. I just have a funny feeling about this, and it along with all the other stories I've told about you, madam, hiding right after all the Adam Walsh fiasco.
Oh,
you
under
and
your bed.
Sister hiding in, because Adam Walsh was snatched.
Well, let's just say that, yeah, they know about Adam Walsh. Stay to the story.
Well, we were in a mall, and I was in a mall with you and your sister. Belk Lindsay was the store, and I couldn't find you. And I started calling you. And then, the staff got involved. Even the store manager got involved. And we found you both inside those circular, in the men's department, where they hung slacks from the top of the round to the floor.
Mm-hmm.
You were hiding in there. I was so embarrassed. I left everything I had and walked out.
I don't know how you managed your whole life, because I can be the most embarrassing person you can possibly be with, and at times, and I'm surprised you still get embarrassed.
But anyhow, everyone was on high alert because of the situation in the news. But your baby sister did the same thing to me in Walmart.
I think all kids do that. I mean, because you're just curious.
Down that store within 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Dropped. Everybody, they have a program.
Yeah, that's getting off topic. Let me run, and when I open the phone lines, call back in.
That's okay. I love you.
I love you too, Ma. Bye-bye. Okay. Sorry. Sometimes Mom does that because we don't talk very much. So when she calls, she starts going on some tangents, but I wanted to keep focused on this. So I'm looking through the Moreau Lake State Park Facebook just to see if we can find anybody that may have given it a review in the last few days. But if you guys are from this area or know somebody that's been in this area or was in this area at this time during this whole situation, I'm curious what it's like there and how quickly law enforcement got everything, at least contained. They didn't say how much of the area that they have searched. They've searched a lot. They brought in drones, brought in helicopters, brought in dogs. We've heard a lot of stuff that they have done in the area for this young girl to find her. But one thing we did learn is that she was riding bikes with friends. They were riding around a loop, and she wanted to go around the loop by herself and never came back. She was wearing a helmet at the time of her disappearance. Again, she's 5'1". Let me put her face back up here. So anybody that has any information, but if you were in that park, check your cameras, check your still footage, your audio, your video footage. If you have anything, GoPros on your car, on your body, you were doing anything, look at it. But don't just look at it. Who cares? If you were in that area, just take that video and send it off to law enforcement. Send it off to law enforcement immediately, because they really do need to be reviewing all of this. You don't know what they're looking for. They may not even know what they're looking for just yet. That stuff may not happen until it's more developed, until this whole situation is more developed for them. So again, this is the young girl, 9 years old, Charlotte. She has been missing since yesterday, about between 6:15 and 6:45 p.m. They didn't put in a Amber Alert until this morning at 9:45, guys. I don't really know why that wasn't clarified in their press conference. It sounds like no matter what, they've been doing everything they humanly possibly can, but nobody saw what happened to her. She just drove off and never came back. She was supposed to go in a circle. We heard from one of our other people watching here that they did find the bicycle, but I don't recall. Now, I was trying to listen, but I was listening for other stuff, and I don't recall if they said that that her bike was found, and she was not. But we did hear from somebody else. But again, it's not corroborated. So I have to caution you on taking that as fact. We don't know at this moment whether her bike has been found 100%. I did not hear that out of law enforcement's mouth or information just yet. But I will tell you, I believe that they most likely did find the bicycle. She was not with the bicycle, most likely. And again, it sounds like if this is the case, somebody was watching those kids. And that just gives me just a feeling in the pit of my stomach I can't describe. Again, this is Charlotte's face. If you guys see her, we are on the lookout for Charlotte. Please blow up social media. This is an active Amber Alert. We just heard the governor's office. This is very, very serious. And unfortunately, the melancholiness, the sadness in the voice of law enforcement, it was very telling, unfortunately for me. And it's almost hard because I think we're all just waiting for a really bad outcome with this poor, beautiful little girl. And our world is just freaking sick and twisted. And God help us all. We need to be praying. You know, enough of this BS. This is the stuff that we here on YouTube and other social media platforms should be helping and working on and advocating for this beautiful little girl instead of fighting over stupidness. All this drama for what? Nothing. This little girl needs our help. Let's start talking about her. Blow up the airways, folks. Let's start getting into these. Let's start sleuthing. Our sleuths need to come out. I'm going to be sleuthing the rest of the afternoon, trying to find any information. I want to find out who was in this park at the time this little girl went missing. If you guys have any information, if you guys locate anybody that was in there, send me the lead. Send me the lead to bullhornbetty@gmail.com. bullhornbetty@gmail.com. Let's help find this young girl. And if they're going to be doing more search parties, we will go ahead and start packing up and getting out there, and we will participate in any searches for this young girl. So if you guys hear of any planned searches, please send that to me again, bullhornbetty@gmail.com, bullhornbetty@gmail.com. God bless each and every one of you. Until next time, please be safe and kind to one another, especially in the chat box below. And the mantra of the Bullhorn Betty channel here is, if you see something, say something. We need more people willing to step up to the plate. When they see something, they get loud. They be noticed. They get noticed, and they bring attention to the problem. That's what we need in America today. We need more Bettys. That's what we need out there. Let's be a Betty. God bless.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.